Dela writes, my MVVs, welcome.
They said the great lion himself has asked Igbe, what is the plan? Like, the great lion himself, whom people are thinking has, adopted the Odu Orun pot, okay, to get these women to level up and align with, everything that he is doing in the palace. They said, in fact, everyone is now wondering, like, what happened? Like, when they heard the great lion himself asking Igbe what the plan was, okay? They said the palace was in shock. Nobody could believe it. Not the chiefs, not the elders, not even the other wives. Igbe, the same Igbe who had fought tooth and nail to secure her position as Yeye Oluwa, the one who had sworn that not even a storm could shake her hold on the throne room, was now talking about stepping aside without the fight, without drama, without any sign of the fire she had always carried. She was offering up the very apartment and authority she once protected like her life depended on. That everyone is wondering. When the news reached the great lion, okay, he did not keep silent. He called her. His voice carried the weight of a man who had carried too many battles and listened to too many stories of palace politics. Igbe, what is the meaning of this and what is the plan? What is the plan? What is this? Like, you see, the level of desperation. They came up first and they said they wanted to go and see the jewel. That they wanted to beg the jewel to return back to her, matrimonial home. That they wanted to beg the jewel to come back so they can live as one big happy family and all of that. They brought a proposal to the great lion and all of that. And the great lion was not having it. In his mind, he is wondering what is going on. They said Igbe stood there when the great lion was, asking, not trembling, not defensive, but strangely calm. Her silence filled the chamber before she finally spoke. Kabiyesi, I know what I said in the past. I know the word I used, the resistance I showed, and the length I went to keep my place. But things are not the same anymore. I have seen too much. I have carried too much anger, and I have come to understand that no matter how I fight, the jewel's place in your heart is beyond what I can touch. The words stung. Other wives were there listening from the corner, shifted uncomfortably. Some were angry that Igbe, the one they thought would never bend, was now the one surrendering. Others felt fear. If Igbe could give up, what hope do we have? Igbe is a very strong person. If she says she's not doing it, she's not doing it, and all of that. And so everybody is wondering. They said the great lion pressed further. So you are saying you are tired, that you have no more fight in you, or is there a deeper game behind this? Igbe, I know you. You don't just surrender. You don't just hand over, what you swore to protect. What is your plan? They say her eyes held his unflinching. Her eyes were just on the great lion, and the great lion was not flinching at all. I am not a woman who just surrenders, but I am also not blind. I see the way the people speak about the jewel. I hear the songs they sing. I feel the way your presence changes whenever her name is mentioned. I cannot keep pretending. If I keep holding on, I will only make myself look like a desperate woman fighting against the inevitable. That is not who I am. That is not the legacy I want. I am married to you. I don't want to fight anymore. That I was able to learn something from gospel. When you said you were removing immunity, we fought and fought and fought and fought and fought. Gospel heed advice and decided to go ahead and get her immunity removed. From the time that gospel removed her immunity till now, gospel's life is gathering momentum again. Nobody even realizes that or remembers that her immunity has been removed. They still see her as your wife. I don't want to fight a battle that I cannot. control. This battle is not in my hand. It's in the hands of the gods. I am completely tired. I am not doing it again. The great lion was silent for a moment. He studied her carefully. In his heart, he knew she was speaking truth, but for all her stubbornness, Igbi had always been proud. To keep dragging the matter would only drag her dignity through the mud. But still, he was not fully convinced. Igbi, he said slowly, "Do you expect me to believe you?" Because, of course, Kabiyesi knew she was lying. Sorry. Okay, everybody knows that, something is actually happening. Everybody knows that there is something that is going on that, the women are not saying right now. Maybe over time it will come up, but people are already telling, the jewel not to be deceived by this submission that is coming from them. But again, a lot of people are also saying that it is fear of Arun. They don't want it to meet them. They are afraid that if they continue in that trajectory, okay, there is a likelihood that this affliction might meet them. That is what they don't want, okay? Now, they said Kabiyesi did not believe Igbi at all. They say even the elders, they didn't believe her. But one thing that happened during this time that the great lion was asking Igbi what was going on, they said those who were in doubt, who had suspected that maybe, just maybe, the great lion has adopted the Orun Odo, that pot, that ritual to keep them quiet. Those people became very confused because, well, they actually believe that, the great lion did something to, make them align with him. But with the kind of question the great lion was asking, they now knew that it was far from me, that there was nothing like that. There was nothing like that. Everybody became very shocked. The room grew tense. Her words were sharp, but they carried a strange surrender. The great lion leaned back, his eyes narrowing. He could see the layers in her statement. On one hand, she was admitting defeat, giving, the jewel space. On the other hand, she was challenging, the jewel silently, almost saying, "Let her come. Let us see if she can withstand what I have endured," okay? Now, it is also true that, Igbi has gone through a lot. Igbi and everybody, they have gone through a lot. They've gone through humiliation. They've gone through, in fact, there's nothing they haven't gone through. But, is Kabiyesi believing Igbi? No. Is anybody believing Igbi? Kabiyesi is still asking, what is the plan? What is going on? What are you going to do next? Because this surrendering, you of all people, your lower apartment, you gave it. What is the plan? What next do you want to do? Kabiyesi went ahead to warn her. You need to know that you don't have immunity again. If you do anything, you will pay with your head. Thank God everybody is here. You people are seeing what is going on in the palace. I'm going to bring you more update. Do not forget that these are all alleged, rumored, unverified information making the rounds on social media and shouldn't be seen as fact.